So in Share Studio, we focus mainly on creating content, but content that's with purpose, meaning that do you want to drive more impressions? Do you want to get more impressions? So are you looking more for advertising? Do you want to increase the click-through rate? Are you looking more for videos, PPC ads that are gonna get you to click on that and find out more about the product? Do you have that nailed down, but your conversions are not the best? So even though we only do content, we are also knowledgeable around other areas that affect the content, because the content is not just the key. Like there's, it's like a whole body. Content might be just the arms, but what is the head? The head might be the product, right? So if the head's not right, the whole body's not gonna work, right? So so we have to make sure that everything's congruent, everything's is harmonious, right? Content is just part of the equation. It's not the equation. But we create content based on the data that we get. So it's data driven content. We do listing images, brand story, premium plus content, basic plus content, storefronts. We also do titles and bullet points in English and in Spanish. Spanish is is a great forte for us because I am from Venezuela. I am from a Spanish speaking country. My whole team is from a Spanish speaking country, and every time we optimize for keywords in Spanish, we make sure that they are culturally relevant keywords. So, for example, as I don't know if you know, but Latin America is a very big place. There's so many different cultures. We might speak the same language sometimes, but other times it's actually very different. So, for example, it's not the same way to say avocado in Venezuela or in Mexico than to say avocado in Chile. Okay, so that's like a little thing. On top of that, there are more than 50 million people in the US that speak Spanish. And on top of that, that's not being counted. A lot of people from Latin America actually buy on Amazon.com, ship it to their warehouse, and their warehouse ships it to the back to their home country. So it's more than it's a lot of people buying and looking for keywords in Spanish. So be careful with that. We do Amazon Post, we do package label design and branding. So anything that has to do with visual content. And the most fun part for me, because I'm a filmmaker, is that we create videos. The type of videos we create, it's gonna depend on the placement of that video. This is very important that you get this. One video shouldn't be made for everything. What I mean by that, imagine that you're looking at a infomercial, and that infomercial is made like it was a Super Bowl commercial. Most likely you won't get caught onto that. Let's imagine the inverse. Super Bowl halftime. You look at an infomercial. First of all, it's impossible because it's got to be too expensive. And second of all, most likely it's not going to drive that amount of traffic. Okay, why? Because the placement and the moment of the person that's looking at the video is very, very important. So, for example, PPC videos should be fast. Oh, I went up. Should be fast. Okay, should be fast, but should also be likable. Like you want to click on them, you want to find out more. Listing videos are to drive that conversion. You have to tell more about the brand. Is it soft to touch? What is it made out of? Do you feel comfortable with it? What are all those questions that people are asking through the comments, through the reviews that you want to answer? Sponsored TV ads are that, obviously commercials for the sponsored ads that Amazon started rolling not too long ago. And then obviously we got social media videos, TikTok videos in general. These are really cool. They should be fast. They should be engaging. They should be able to drive traffic to your listing. So why optimize your listing, guys? Amazon is a place where Amazon drives the traffic to the need of that customer. So, for example, if somebody's needing a toothpick and they don't have toothpick at home because a party's coming, most likely they'll look for toothpicks, right? So that's a keyword. They have a search buying intent, meaning that they're looking to buy something. They are not in an awareness stage, meaning that they're looking and they're like, oh, they found this. No, they already want to buy something. So they go and they look for a toothpick, and that toothpick, now if you're selling toothpick, now you're competing against a other bunch of other toothpicks. Okay. So why optimize your content? Well, because you're fighting for that click, you're fighting for that attention. So, for example, this is a brand that we recently worked with. We got them from 500, 400, 500 plus a month to over $800,000 within a couple of months. Okay, literally like 3 months. As you can see, we're trying to tell as much amount of story here. We're telling, hey, you with this bottle, you can clean up to 100 pair of shoes. But we're not just telling it with just text. We're also showing, like we're trying to make it as likable as possible, as entertaining as possible. Because at the end of the day, people like to be entertained. So the better you can give service, the better people are going to treat you. Okay, so Let's suppose you sell a product and it's $15 a pop, okay, and you receive 100 sessions a day, and your conversion is 2%, okay. What would happen if your conversion is 3%? Just 1% extra along the lines, okay, meaning that in 25 days, that conversion, that just one percentage, could be a $450 difference. Imagine that instead of being, imagine that instead of being, I don't know, that amount of conversion, maybe it's twice as more. That then it'll be 900, and so on and so forth. So even 0.05%, it's a lot of money. So make sure that you're looking into it. A year, it's more than $5,000. That's a lot of money, and we're just looking at something very simple.
Yeah. Yeah. You really want to focus on your click through rate first, right? And then make sure you're converting on those clicks.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that you talked about this before, but if nobody sees your listing, obviously you're not going to get any clicks, right? Because if nobody's seeing it, how can somebody click on it? It's logical. So we have to make sure that also their PPC game is on spot. So it's like I said in the beginning, like it has to be congruent. Like everything has to be harmonious. Like if your PPC strategy is off, doesn't matter what your content is, they're not gonna get any clicks or any buys.